Oilers and the Capitals going head-to-head on a Wednesday night. I will break that game down, and we were also going to look at the Hurricanes and the Minnesota Wild going head-to-head. Two games here to break down on this show here, guys. Welcome in to the pre-scout as we break down a few games and get you guys ready for a really good and bettable NHL slate. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive right in. Oilers and Capitals here, taking a look at these two teams, taking a look at what this game offers. And first and foremost, we have to look at the Edmonton Oilers when it comes to them off a loss. This is an Oilers team that is off a game they would like to forget. They did not look good whatsoever against the Buffalo Sabres. It was bad. It was not just a flat spot. It was bad for this team, losing 5-1 to the Buffalo Sabres. And I don't care about flat spots. I don't care about any excuses. I don't care about being on the road. This Oilers team did not look good. And for a team that is struggling with consistency, for a team that will look good one game and then not look good the next, it was not a good game for the Edmonton Oilers. So how do we fare in this one? How do we take a look at it? Well, let's look at this Washington Capitals team. What's up with them right now? Well, more importantly, looking at their injury bug. Only one thing to really mention, and that's Pierre-Luc Dubois. Other than that, it's not too bad. But Pierre-Luc Dubois is going to be a big missing piece for the Washington Capitals, so we'll see how they can fare after that one. Of note for this team, guys, 4 of their last 5 games have gone under the total, this Washington Capitals team. But we know the Edmonton Oilers will drag everybody and anybody they can into an over. Whether it's the Capitals doing the scoring or whether it's the Oilers doing the scoring, it's hard for me not to picture off a loss the Edmonton Oilers really coming with speed, with urgency, with motivation. Draisaitl, McDavid, now Zach Hyman, coming off that play, that game that they are losing 5-1 against a team like the Buffalo Sabres is going to be super, super motivating for them. Although taking a look at this, guys, this is an Oilers team that just overall hasn't done very well on the road. And this is a Capitals team that on a large scale has been a very good home team. So when I take a look at it, especially head to head here, this Capitals team has done very well when it comes to playing at home. Now, these teams, they kind of, when they go head to head, we've kind of seen a mixed bag overall, but they have not played this season. They played, the last time that they played was late last year. So we have no context as far as this season is concerned. But when it comes to this game, guys, there are 2 plays that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the first period over in this game, and I'm looking at a shot prop. When it comes to these plays, guys, especially with the shot props, I want to look at head-to-head data. And with me doing overnight shows and overnight videos, that's what I'm going to be able to show you guys is the head-to-head data as much. And this is what we have here. This is Alexander Ovechkin's head-to-head history against the Edmonton Oilers. And it's very, very good. I mean, this is one of those things that you just cannot ignore, that sometimes a player plays very well against one particular team. And in this case, Alexander Ovechkin plays really well against a ton of teams, but especially against the Edmonton Oilers. You can get his number over 2.5 at -140 at the best shop available, or you can take over 3.5 shots. You take a look at the last handful of games he's played in his career against the Edmonton Oilers. He's got 9 shots, 3 shots, 7 shots, 3 shots, 5 shots, and 5 shots. And the attempts, 14, 4, 11, just some really, really high numbers, guys. So from an overnight perspective, looking at some shots on goal perspective, looking at the player prop perspective, I got to think that Alexander Ovechkin is someone to look at. And looking overall at this Edmonton Oilers team, they give up a ton of shots per game. So this is one of those opportunities I think that it's a really good bet to make, looking at Alexander Ovechkin over on his shots. And of course, if you're taking him over on shots, you got to be sprinkling as well on the anytime goal. But this is a Capitals team right now that is kind of playing some up and down hockey themselves. They played in a lot of close games. They had a 3-2 loss against the Lightning, 2-1 win over the Kings, a 3-2 loss against the the Devils. It's been a bit of a mixed bag for this Capitals team. Now, I do give an edge to them in this game playing at home, as I do like how they play at home. And right now, I have been worried about the Oilers when they've been on the road. So, but when it comes down to it, some teams, when they get their asses kicked, for lack of better words, guys, they are a team that respond with defense. When it comes to the Oilers, they're just going to bring that same sense of urgency. And that's what I'm looking for in this one. That's why the first period over 1.5, we have a 6 as the total. You're going to get a pretty decent price on the first period over 1.5. This game should start with a bang. Not to mention, the last game the Capitals played was 2-1. That game had a ton of scoring chances. It finished 2-1, but the advanced metrics would tell us that that game had a lot more for it than just 3 goals, even though there were only 3 goals on the score sheet. Those goaltenders played very, very well. So that's our first couple plays here, guys. On the show, we are looking for the first period over Oilers and Capitals, and we're going to take a look at Alexander Ovechkin over 2.5 shots, over 3.5 shots, and a little sprinkle on the anytime goal for Mr. Alexander Ovechkin. All right, guys, at the time of recording this video, we are on an 11-3 all sports run. We got a few plays pending right now, but we are feeling very good. We are feeling very good. NHL's going well. NFL's going well, especially with the player props. And, you know, if you're someone that's bought picks before and you want to get in the game and you want to follow somebody, we always preach buying long term. And, you know, it's not really for our benefit. You know, you guys need to be able to see a large sample size of how someone is able to operate and how someone handicaps. If you want to dip your toes in and buy a 3-day, buy a 7-day, buy one pick, that's your own choice. And we welcome that as well. But we have a great deal going right now at WagerTalk, and I can pull it up right now. $500 off a 1-year pass. That's 1 year. You're going to get every single play I release. That'll be MLB, which I was number 4 in at WagerTalk. It's going to be NFL player props. You're going to get my CFL, which I just finished number 1. You're going to get NHL. You're going to get every single thing that I release. $500 off a 1-year pass, just $125 a month. Plus, inside that package, once you buy it, you get a 25% bonus coupon, and this expires November 30th. So, and I also want to give a shout out to all of you guys that watched the pre-scout when I was recording it live. There's going to be more live shows, but for a lot of these are going to be just overnight recorded videos moving forward. But you guys can be very, very certain that we're going to have some live shows as well. Do not worry. There's going to be some live shows, but a lot of it's going to be pre-recorded and overnight picks. All right, let's get to the Hurricanes and the Wild. Hurricanes here are a team that we got to give credit to because this is a team coming off a solid performance against the Boston Bruins. It was their 3rd game in 4 nights, and they put up a really good defensive masterclass. They beat the Boston Bruins 3-1. But I got to say here, this is a spot, guys, that we are looking towards the underdog. We're going to get a really good price on the Minnesota Wild. You guys shop around, but the price that I'm seeing is plus 130. Now, for this Hurricanes team, they've been traveling around a lot. You know, it's been like at home, then on the road, at home, then on the road. It's been a little bit of a busy schedule for them, but they've been busy. As I mentioned, they just played their 3rd game in 4 nights on Monday. And, you know, it was a good performance for them against the Boston Bruins. But I still think the fatigue factor is going to settle in for them a little bit. And it was taking a lot out of them to play such a great defensive game. Now, you look at this Minnesota Wild team, and all of my metrics will tell us that they have been starting to play the best hockey of their season. They're coming off 2 great performances, and they have 2 shutouts in their last 4 games. I've been very impressed with how they've played. Sure, they had that hiccup, the overtime loss at home against the San Jose Sharks, but they followed that up with a 2-0 shutout victory over the Ducks, and they just beat the Vegas Golden Knights at home 3-2. So in this handicapping game, you have to be able to forecast when you're going to find good bet on stretches for a team. Now, the Minnesota Wild did not start out on a good note, guys. They did not start out on a good note. But when I look at this Minnesota team, And everything that I look at when it comes to this team tells me they are about to go on a run. They are undervalued right now in the betting marketplace. Now, when we look at this, this isn't a rapid revenge spot, but this is certainly a revenge spot. Earlier in this month, earlier in November, we saw the Hurricanes defeat the Wild 4-3. And that game was in Carolina. Now the Wild, they get a chance to get back on track. They get a chance to bounce back, and they get a chance to flex their muscles on home ice. So I do like this one quite a bit here. And this is one of those ones here where this Wild team, I think, is going to have the ability to shut down the Hurricanes. Now, some interesting content or context here for this game. The Hurricanes, if they score 3+ goals, they're on a 13-1-1 run. That is pretty good going back to last season. So you got to respect that. But I do think this is a home ice advantage opportunity for the Minnesota Wild in which they will take advantage of. There's injuries on both sides. Of course, we have some injuries for the Wild, but some injuries for the Carolina Hurricanes. So I will not really give any team really an edge when it comes to the injury situation. But when it ultimately comes down to it, from the situational spot, from the fatigue spot, from the rapid revenge spot, and from a value spot on the plus 130 at home, to me, this is an undervalued spot on the Minnesota Wild. We're going to take them on home ice, guys. I love the way they're playing defense right now. I love the depth of this roster. And not to mention, we've got some great goaltending with Philip Gustafsson. He's going to lead the way and get the job done. Never an easy task against the Carolina Hurricanes, but at plus 130 at home, this is a price that I can get behind. So, guys, you got a few plays from me here. You're going to find me overnight and into the morning, giving you guys overnight looks across multiple sports here on the Pre-Scout. It won't just be hockey. It'll be basketball. It'll be football. It'll be baseball in the summer. This is where you guys can find me giving out my free plays. Of course, I'm Andrew McGinnis. You can follow me at McGinnis Picks on X. You can get me at wt.buzz/am for all of my best bets and all of my plays. And of course, the special I'm advertising for today, $500 off a 1-year pass, just $125 a month, 25% bonus coupon in there. This deal expires November 30th. Guys, if you plan on buying plays, if you plan on buying 5% bets, if you plan on buying my NHL, my NFL player props, just get this package. You're going to get everything that I release. And of course, all the way into the summer with my MLB team totals, with my CFL, all that good stuff. We're on a great run right now. Let's try and keep things going. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out. Hope you guys subscribe to our channel right here on WagerTalk TV. And I'll see you guys next time right here on the Pre-Scout.